Hey guys, welcome to Lowdown. Here you are here with your Wednesday night delight. We're going to give you all the best wrestling talk, and we're going to give it to you quick, fast, and of course, we're going to give it to you as brash as we can. Joining me tonight, we've got Chris, and joining us later on, we're going to have Paul here as well. Chris, how you doing, man?
I'm doing good. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm doing really good, really good. Hell of a week in wrestling. Um,
Oh hell yeah.
Do you know it was surprising? It's nice to have WWE do something good. There's been a couple of things come out about Global Force Wrestling as well, and of course, unfortunately, there's still issues with Impact. But let's get straight into it first, and let's talk a little bit about Raw. How did you find what many are calling to be the best Raw of the year so far?
I'm generally going to agree with this. I can't explain why. Part of it was the crowd. Part of it was everyone marking out because of Sami Zayn. I don't necessarily think the show was as good as everyone's making it out to be. I think that the atmosphere was what made it as good as it was, not the actual show.
Yeah, it was really weird. I'm usually quite against crowds like that, but this time I kind of like them. They took me by surprise, and like you say, I don't think the show was as good as people make out. But in comparison to other weeks, I definitely think this week was fresh.
Oh, this was a winner in terms of considering how stale it has been for the past X amount of weeks now. It was nice to see something new. It was nice to see something refreshing. Nice to see a new guy come up as well. That's
Yeah,
always a good point.
I mean, whether he's going to be there for a long time or whether he's just going to be there one off, go back to NXT for a bit and then come back, it's nice to see that these guys are getting the opportunity, almost the same opportunity that John Cena had when he came up 13 years ago.
That's the same opportunity guys we're getting in the generation in the Attitude Era. You know, that's going somewhere, man. That is.
Yeah, I
So
mean,
you're
it's
not.
about time. Obviously, they're doing something nice with it. And Bret Hart obviously gave one of the biggest rubs in the last year. Yeah, it's
I've,
nice to see.
I've, I've got to be completely honest here. When they said who's going to, if you want some, come get some of Bret Hart's music hit, a little part of me died inside because I was just expecting Sami Zayn's music to hit. Of course, Bret Hart came out, and as soon as he said he's going to introduce someone, I was like, yeah. Then Heath Slater came out, and I was like, well,
Do you know what? Heath Slater is beginning to look a little bit more like a star nowadays. Now that he's got rid of the Wendy's girl kind of hair, he looks damn good.
not a fan of the beard.
Oh, I think it really, really suits him.
Not
Although
a fan of.
I wish he'd been clean shaven on the basis that there are too many beards in wrestling now.
Yes. But no, when Heath Slater came out, I knew it was going to either turn into one of these. Heath Slater gets a match for some stupid reason, or Bret Hart was going to kick his ass and introduce whoever he was going to introduce. I'm glad the latter of the two happened. Sami Zayn, ladies and gentlemen, came out, managed to seemingly do something to his rotator cuff by lifting his arm in the air. That's what we'll discuss a bit later on, I imagine.
Oh yeah, we'll definitely touch on the injury. Um, Obviously the show itself, like we said, was better than prior weeks have been. There was a lot of content in it that actually it kind of built towards payback, and I think this is a lot of things people were worried about. Obviously, with it only being such a short gap between Extreme Rules and Payback,
Well,
I think
when
people
you,
were worried that there wouldn't be enough time to build up a storyline, but they're kind of doing that at a quick pace, and it's working for them.
Absolutely, and when you normally say, "Hey guys, there's a 3 week build," I basically just go, what? The build at the moment, they're building more than they did for WrestleMania. I'll give them that. There's actually stories going into this one, ladies and gentlemen. That's a first.
Yeah, it's nice to see that Payback's not quite as bad as it was last year. It's also not kind of like pushed to the side like I expected it to be.
Oh yeah, I mean, it's it's nice to see them not taking the it's a C grade, it's a B or C grade pay per view. Let's just just announce the matches and get on with it. It's nice to see them building something clear. And I mean, you've even in the undercard, you can see the rumblings of Neville and Barrett. You can see Sheamus and Ziggler carrying on. You've got this. You've got an undercard this time that's being built well, rather than just all of this. Oh, it's the main event sort of thing.
Yeah, it's nice because I remember watching pay-per-views back when I was a kid. Like Fully Loaded 2000 was actually one of my favorite pay-per-views for a few years. And the actual undercard on that show was really good. Each match had a story, or at least had a purpose building to a higher story. And there was like a triple main event on that show, but that was a B pay-per-view. That to me is really interesting. I kind
Well,
of hope they do that kind of thing again.
I mean, even when you look at WrestleMania 2000, you look at the triple threat ladder match, the triple threat TLC match, sorry, the tag match with ENC, Hardy Boys, and Dudley Boys going in there. The undercard stole the show. And that to me should always be what the undercard is trying to do. And I'm glad to see the undercard are getting some sort of build going into this to set up for them to steal a show potentially. I mean, we've seen Sami Zayn, assuming that he's not as injured as people are saying, or well, as people seem to think. He's a man right there who could have a 4 or 5 star match if he's on paperback. Just if he's on payback for the pay per view.
Oh yeah, definitely.
You've got guys like Neville who have already come out of nowhere. A lot of fans don't seem to know who Neville is, but he's still getting huge pops and he's still getting the spots on. He's on point with that.
Oh, definitely. A big shout out to Pod is War, who have told us that Sami Zayn doing his debut was their kind of high point of Raw this week. I think that's definitely a case for a lot of people. I think it's funny. I tried avoiding Twitter for at least that night because I wasn't going to see the show live, and unfortunately, being in the UK, that's something that happens quite often. I had a fair idea that Zayn may appear, with it being Montreal, being his hometown. But
the second I found out it was Montreal, I said I'm watching this live.
I just love the fact that the crowd were so into it, and it was in a positive way. It wasn't like a negative, constantly booing, making cheers for no reason. It just made everything so much nicer on Raw. And of course, the good storytelling and actually decent content. But
it was what you call a friendly, smart crowd. It's a smart crowd, not a smart crowd. That's what I'd say.
Yeah, completely agree.
It wasn't one. I mean, even it was nice. It was nice to see even Naomi and Tamina get a pop, kind of.
Yeah, I think there was a really interesting line mentioned there as well. Naomi mentions this thing about family when she's out there. I think a lot of people were quite confused by that. But if you look in the bloodline, Tamina is now like almost a relative of Naomi.
They're now cousins by marriage. That was something, and this is something else that a lot of people seem to have forgotten about this week. The commentary this week, there wasn't as much messing around or goofing around. They seemed to be focused on the goddamn show. For how long have people been saying that the commentators aren't doing their job properly? Ladies and gentlemen, they did on Monday night, and no one can fault them for that.
And not a single shucky ducky quack quack. I was good. I mean, Booker T was even on point.
Not a single rambling by JBL and Cole either. Cole seemed entirely focused on what was happening on the show. I was incredibly happy with that.
Yeah. Do you know what? The show itself, like we said, was good. Maybe wasn't as good as people were making out, but sometimes that's just something that happens. But I will tell you what is really good. Make sure that you guys head over to levelsofwrestling.podbean.com. Check out all of our podcasts, as well as the Ringside Ramblers, Just Saying, Mind of Carnage, and of course the most recently joined Wrestle Reaction. You can check out all of them on the Podbean website, or you can head over to googleplay.com and check out our free Levels of Wrestling app for Android. Be sure to download that and be sure to let us know your thoughts.
Indeed.
Now, Chris, you mentioned Sami Zayn possibly being injured going into his match with Cena.
Yes, I did.
What's your thoughts? Is it a work? Is it a hyperextension? Is it something bigger? Is it something we're not even sure about yet?
It looks like a rotator cuff or a hyperextension of the muscle. The way that his arm, I actually watched this back a couple of times, being a huge Zayn fan, I was trying to gauge whether or not it was scripted or not. He actually, the thing he does where he lifts both his arms up to get the crowd to react?
Of course.
When he did it the second time, you can see his arm gets halfway up and then goes limp. And as he gets in the ring, he's holding his shoulder. Even as the match starts, he's still stretching the shoulder. I think there was some sort of hyperextension there.
Of course, I mean, it was a good shout to get the Doctor out there. It made the match almost look a little bit more believable, which again blurs the lines. Obviously, fans would have been concerned with what's going on. You pull for Zayn a bit more. Cena, God bless him. I mean, there was a couple of suplexes that people said the damage may have been added to when he did those suplexes.
The only one that I spotted, I'm just going to jump in here, because the only one that I actually spotted, it was Zayn's shoulder was too far back. It was not Cena's fault.
Exactly. This is one of those things as well. I saw a few people kind of blaming Cena for what happened. That's not the case, guys. It's just something that happens. These guys know what happens to them when they get in the ring, and they know it's a possibility. I'd say fair play to Cena for doing his job, and definitely, congratulations to Sami Zayn on his debut and actually getting through that match injured, if that is the case.
It's also incredibly important to point out the patience that Cena showed while he was in the ring and the referee was calling for the injury. And Cena was saying, "I'm fine," holding his hand up to Zayn as if to say, "Take your time." As I say, don't worry about it. Because Zayn, it seemed, even at the end of the match, was beating himself up. I'm not sure if that's meant to be descriptive or if it's because he got injured in his debut match. But he looked like he was beating himself up a little bit.
They're doing a fantastic job at putting guys over from NXT. Cole on commentary, when Neville came up, pointed out that he was a former NXT champion. And then he did the same again with Sami Zayn. Now, of course, Sami Zayn got the Bret Hart treatment. He also got Cena raising his hand. These guys are going to be set for life. The fact that they allowed Sami Zayn to kick out of the AA shows how much faith they've got in him.
Sami Zayn is someone... Go on.
I was just going to say, I think this to me shows that not that Triple H is having more say, but definitely that people are beginning to listen to what he's saying.
I think it's not necessarily that. I think Triple H is saying, "Let me take these guys and I'll bring you results," and people are finally starting to see the results. I think that's more what it is. People are starting to actually be able to see, okay, yes, these guys do have the talent that we've been saying they don't have. I mean, Vince has never really watched NXT apart from that one live event at WrestleMania.
Now, I was just going to say, obviously, we're talking about Triple H and NXT. Obviously, if Sami Zayn is injured, there's the big NXT match, I believe, tonight with Kevin Owens. Now, if that's the case, how are they going to play this up? Because obviously this is pre-recorded and fans will have been watching this concerned to see how Sami Zayn's going to be. Not everyone knows that this is a taped show. Do you think they'll try and mention this in some way, or do you think they'll just ignore it?
I'll mention it, and if he is injured and out, the title shot will probably go to Finn Balor.
Well, no, that's the thing. It's not a live show. This is a taped show.
No, I agree. What they will do is they'll record a segment backstage or something.
Right, okay.
They'll tag that into the show for the broadcast.
Oh, so like an edit into the show, you mean?
Yes. There will be some backstage segment with Kevin Owens saying something, or someone saying that Sami Zayn is no longer able to compete. And then, there'll be some sort of reaction. And then he'll end up fighting Finn.
Cut the match.
And then he'll end up fighting Finn Balor.
I think... I think the match will still go forward, but I think what they'll do is obviously, if you've seen the spoilers, you know what's going to happen. But they'll definitely put it over that Sami Zayn is injured slightly. They'll cut editing in through commentary rather than do it through a segment. They do the same kind of thing on TNA occasionally.
It's not a bad idea.
I mean, at least with commentary, it takes a lot less time and can be kind of edited in within 2 or 3 seconds, depending on how they do it. Yeah,
that's true. I do still think that the fight will go to Finn Balor. Finn Balor will get the title shot if Sami Zayn is injured. Vince is high on him. Triple H is high on him. Says it all, really.
Yeah, I think Kevin Owens though is in for a very, very kind of long, or at least lengthy run with that NXT title.
Kevin Owens is a guy who, I know everyone says Kevin Owens is the next Brock Lesnar. He is not the next Brock Lesnar. But he'll be a damn good champion one day. He will be a main event star on the main roster. And I don't think there's any...
I don't think Kevin Owens is the next Brock Lesnar. I think he's the perfect hybrid between a Bray Wyatt and a Brock Lesnar.
Yes, he's still. But what I'm saying is he'll still be a main event star. There's no real.
Of course, yeah. There's no doubt in that anymore.
I mean, just the fact that he's doing stuff like he has the most T-shirt sales out of the entire NXT. He's almost up there with Cena on the T-shirt sales. That's saying something, considering that he only works NXT. That is really saying something.
Yeah, I completely agree. It's such a simple T-shirt design. Now, obviously, we've spoken about Zayn and Cena. What was your thoughts on the Rollins-Ambrose match?
Rollins-Ambrose is arguably match of the night. I was very surprised to see Ambrose win that match. I'm very glad that they let Ambrose win that match.
I think quite a lot of people were. I mean, it was definitely something the crowd were behind. It was something a lot of people at home were behind, definitely, from watching Twitter and seeing what was going on.
But I know a lot of the quote-unquote fangirls of Dean Ambrose loved it. But speaking of someone who really doesn't want to see Rollins versus Orton versus Reigns, where Orton is just there to let Rollins get the pin without having to make Reigns look bad, I wasn't really a big fan of that match. With the idea of Ambrose being there, we all know at least one moment now that's going to happen in that match. And if you can't figure that out, it's a shame on you.
Hey, here's the fun thing. If the WWE Universe had voted correctly 2 weeks ago, you could have had the original stipulation being Rollins versus Reigns, and then Ambrose would have been added in, and you would have had your Shield triple threat.
They wouldn't have done it if it was. They wouldn't have added Ambrose to that. They're saving that for SummerSlam, and that's what this is building to.
Oh, I think this is going to build much longer than SummerSlam. I think SummerSlam's leading to Seth Rollins, Brock Lesnar again.
I think arguably, although I still think that, if anything, in my eyes, it will lead to something similar. It will lead to the Shield triple threat, which would eventually lead to Brock Lesnar interfering at the end of the triple threat, kicking the shit out of Rollins, and then appearing for Night of Champions.
It's a good thought. Speaking of SummerSlam, we're going to take our first fan question of the night, and this comes from It's JB 1989, and he wants to know our thoughts on the rumors that Justin Bieber almost teamed with Cena and Show against the Wyatt family at SummerSlam last year.
As someone who has newfound respect for Justin Bieber after his comedy roast, I wouldn't necessarily have had a problem with that. I think that attaching him to Cena with all of the bad news that's going around about Bieber and all of the reputation that he's developed, not a smart idea. I can understand why that match didn't happen, to be completely honest.
I'm okay with the match happening, provided it happens in the way that
Bieber
the creative had wanted it booked. And that was with Cena getting the pin, Bieber running his mouth, and then Cena AAing Justin Bieber.
I wouldn't have minded that. To be honest, as long as Bieber didn't get the pin, I wouldn't have minded so much. Even if Bieber just provided the distraction for Bray Wyatt, I wouldn't have minded it as much. Bieber is going to distract Bray Wyatt one way or another, even if Bray Wyatt's going to want to punch him in the face. And that's a great way to get Bray Wyatt a cheap little pop.
I gotta say, could you imagine Justin Bieber being underneath Bray Wyatt when he does that spider walk? Terrifying. He would have pissed himself.
Imagine the look on Justin Bieber's face when that happens. That would have been comedy gold.
Speaking of Justin Bieber, I'm sure his biggest fans just arrived. Hey, Paul, how you doing? I know you're
How's
here. Don't be ignoring us. You're Justin Bieber's biggest fan.
See, now he's confused because he doesn't know if we're talking about Justin Bieber or Seth Rollins.
Okay, sorry about that. All right, now I'm here.
How you doing? We're just discussing the Rollins and Ambrose match from last week on Raw.
Yes, that was a match. It happened. I enjoyed it.
Match of the night, or just one of the top matches?
Yeah, I got it. I got it. Match of the night. I really liked. I really liked how it ramped up there at the end. I mean, it's obviously not their best match, but for the stakes, for what was on the line, and especially the crowd reaction. I mean, how behind Ambrose was that crowd? I mean, it was insane.
I think it was great. The only issue I've got is they need to ensure that that cheer stays up when they leave Bizarro Land and head back to the States.
I mean, he's usually like one of the consistently most over baby faces. That's why it's going to be so awesome when something else happens.
Yes.
So let me ask you something, guys. Which match was better for the night? Zayn versus Cena or Rollins versus Ambrose? And of course, I'd love to get everyone who's listening to tweet in their thoughts as well.
Well, here's the issue. You have Zayn versus Cena would have been match of the night, hands down, if not for the fact that Zayn was injured. If with Zayn's injury kind of, I don't want to blame you for this, but slowing the pace a little bit, I'm not really sure that was match of the night. I'm going to go with Ambrose Rollins.
Yep, Ambrose Rollins. It meant more in the long run, and I just liked the match more. I didn't care for the ending of the Cena Zayn match. It just felt really flat when it ended. The
ending was rushed because of the injury.
Right. But you know what, though? You have that match in front of any other crowd, and it's a dud. The crowd really made that match. So
that's sort of what you have to do with anyone debuting, to be honest, is make sure it's in front of a good crowd.
Yep, very smart of them to debut him there. I mean, the rumors had been going around all morning that he was going to debut, and what better crowd to put him in front of than that? Smart, super smart.
It's like debuting Neville the night after Mania when there's a large UK fan base there.
Yep.
Yeah,
they handled both of their debuts expertly. So good on them for doing the right thing with those two.
I would actually say they've handled Zayn's a hell of a lot better because they had Bret Hart introduce him. When you have a Hall of Famer introduce somebody, that means we're going somewhere. Well, there's expectations at least. I think that really comes across on screen as well.
But does this are we going to expect him to like be a permanent fixture of the main roster though from here on out? I mean, after the match there with Owens.
Well, here's the thing: Cesaro worked NXT and main event and main roster at the same time.
Right.
So I don't see where people are saying, well, he has to work one or the other. Cesaro didn't. Cesaro kept going back down to NXT. I could quite happily see this be Zayn's last run at NXT, but for the next 2-3 weeks he's still on Raw.
I wouldn't be opposed to that.
If he was main eventing Payback, I may have an issue with it, but you know, it's that's not the case.
So Payback's definitely shaping up to be a great card. I don't want to go too much into predictions. Just a quick one. How do you guys see the main event playing out? Obviously, it's a no DQ fatal 4-way.
We're going to have a triple powerbomb of Orton through the table by the Shield. We all know that's coming.
I like that idea.
Chris, I hadn't even thought of that. That's awesome.
Yeah.
You really didn't think of that? Bloody
I
hell.
honestly didn't. I don't think they'll work together.
The second that I heard Ambrose added to that match, I was like, right, that's a triple powerbomb through the table for Orton.
The first thing I thought of when Ambrose got added to the match was, well, now we know who's eating the pin.
See, I think Orton's going to eat the pin.
He's.
I think what we'll see is we'll see the triple powerbomb. We'll see the Shield slug it out. We will see Orton come in for an RKO. Orton will get whatever. He'll get speared or something by Reigns. Rollins will throw Reigns out of the ring and get the pin.
I can go with that. You also got to consider though that we're going to probably be getting all kinds of clustery stuff there from the Authority because you know it's a 4-way, so there's
Ambrose wins. Ambrose wins.
No chance.
You say no chance. He did always promise he'd stop Seth from being champion.
And that makes him a liar. Dean Ambrose is a liar.
Mo T WWE tweeted in and said that Ambrose Rollins was match of the night, but not taking away from Zayn Cena. Thank you for tweeting and letting us know your thoughts.
I very much agree with that. There isn't any taking away from Zayn and Cena. They both got a good offensive in. It let Zayn show off how flashy he was when he went for the suicide dive. Cena moved out of the way and he bounced off the rope. very flashy spot. Even Cena gave a very sarcastic round of applause for that one.
Hell,
I
I even
kinda
like I even liked the opening contest, the handicap tag. I love that match.
Oh, that match was incredible. I loved that. New Day are holding their own, and I swear to God, I'm so glad I've kept supporting them.
Big E is holding his own.
Xavier Woods isn't doing too bad either.
Yeah, I was going to say, Kofi actually used a mic like he knew how to use it for a change.
Yeah, he just
Like-
needs to learn how to wrestle.
Did he drop an accent this time?
He didn't do an accent. He will. It'll come back. I think he's going to get hit in the head one day, and then they're going to repackage him as a Jamaican again.
So he hasn't screwed up any accents yet. That's good. That's a step forward. That's. Yeah. I was surprised we didn't see any Kalisto, any Lucha Dragons this time.
Yeah,
I'm
they've
okay with
kinda-
that because
they're
they put the
cooling
Ascension
that
on. And I'm not saying the Ascension are positive, I'm just saying they need to build new stars as well as the ones they're starting to build. Like,
Yeah.
you can't have a whole division without that.
Right, yeah, you need teams that are gonna be ready. You know, you just can't you can't always have title matches against a team that could possibly win. You know, you need to have title defenses. So, you know, and for them to kind of almost reset a little bit on the Ascension is a good thing.
But I still don't understand why they don't build the Ascension by having them come out and attack singles competitors. For example, R-Truth Stardust. No one's really overly bothered about that feud. Why not just have the Ascension come in and fall up and down one of them?
Eh,
It's,
No.
it's a semi-decent way to build them. I mean, no one seems to quite know whether to cheer or boo them. At least clear that one up for us, please.
right.
Just straight up right. Now,
Yep.
I know we've kind of featured Zayn a little bit heavily in this episode, but sadly there was a nice little release from one Vince Russo this week. And he has came to state and has since apologized on Twitter, in case anyone was hurt by his feelings, that he believes that Sami Zayn will not be a household draw, that he won't bring money to the company, and he will never be a main level star. Thoughts?
Okay, here's the issue. Sami Zayn is the new. He is the new Daniel Bryan / Chris Benoit. He will be a fan favorite. He will be put in the main event because the fans demand him be in the main event, not for the reason that Vince believes he should be in the main event. He will also not be a household name. No one's ever going to claim that he will be. However, the only thing that I really disagreed with was that he said the fact casual viewers won't care about Zayn. I don't think Vince Russo realizes how a fan reaction on TV can influence a viewer's opinion at home. If you see an entire audience going, wow, this guy's fantastic, it kind of makes you go, wow, okay, this guy's worth checking out.
Sami Zayn has that ability to draw sympathy, like few guys can. You know, a lot of guys on the current roster can't do that. He does that during the match. You know, you think of guys like Ricky Steamboat and Ricky Morton and Shawn Michaels, guys that could really get the crowd behind him and draw up that sympathy. He does that, and that's going to go a long way.
That's why I said he's like, he's very much like
To me, he
Bryan and Chris Benoit. Because Chris, if you think back to, and I'm not bringing this up for dodgy reasons, if you think back to WrestleMania 22, who was the favourite going into that match? Who were the crowd behind? Chris Benoit. Who were the fans behind going into WrestleMania 30? Daniel Bryan. Because they both got the sympathy, they both got the emotion out of the audience.
See,
And
I've got him more as a Christian, where that's a high ceiling. I mean, that's someone that's going to be, you know, an upper mid card, a multiple time, you know, IC US title champion, and I could even see him with possibly a world title run. For Vince Russo to say that he's never going to be a main level guy, you know, that's fucked up. You know, Russo's an idiot. This is the same guy that wanted to put the belt on Tank Abbott and put the belt on David Arquette. So,
yeah,
you know,
that was going to be coming up for me in a second.
right, yeah, fuck you, Vince Russo.
David, it's the fact. Have you seen the Monday Night War episode about that yet? About David Arquette. There wasn't an entire episode to it, obviously, but it was in there. And they mentioned Vince Russo basically said, "Oh, I still think it was a good idea." Shows how much Vince Russo's ideas really count for shit.
Well, because it was, you know what, we got people talking, and people are still talking about it. Yeah, guess what, dude? People are still talking about the Titanic. Doesn't mean it was a good idea.
Not all publicity is good publicity.
Yeah, I mean,
I'll correct that and say that the Titanic was a great idea, but unfortunately icebergs weren't.
wow. The
Well,
Hindenburg. Come on.
Now, you were saying there about Sami Zayn being the new kind of Christian, right? I
Yeah.
kind of rate all these medium to large size guys as like Edge is that top level, and I don't even see like Christian and Edge were pretty much parallel in the last few years of their careers, to me anyway, because they were both able to make people cheer, they're both able to make people boo. Obviously, Edge was better at being the heel, while Christian was better at being face.
But Edge was winning world titles.
Yeah, of
Lots of
course, but that's because Vince didn't like Christian's face, Mr. Blue Dot all over.
You know who that's going to be, don't you? That'll be Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens.
Oh God.
See, I think that Zayn's ceiling is higher than Owens.
I think
I think it's going to be Owens.
I think Owens' ceiling is the main event.
Once you see him up on the main event and you see him next to guys like Roman Reigns and Seth Rollins, you're going to go...
I'm not saying he's a big guy. I'm saying he has the ability to be a dick.
It's gonna be a tough road for him. He's gonna look like Rey Mysterio in there. It's gonna be a tough road.
You say that, but his T-shirt sales at the moment are through the goddamn roof, and no one can deny that right now.
Yeah, that's fine. Rey Mysterio sold a lot of shirts too.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is he's only in NXT, and he's a massive draw. He's bringing in profit from NXT alone. What's he going to do on the main roster?
As much as they let him.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, okay, that's a good point there.
I'm just saying he's got a tough road ahead of him. So he's got a deck stacked against him. I say Zayn's gonna have a higher ceiling.
I think Zayn will have the. Zayn will have the Daniel Bryan ceiling and the current Daniel Bryan ceiling.
No, that's not.
Hold on. By which I mean he's currently in the mid card, but he's still a crowd favorite, upper mid card guy. I think Kevin Owens has the Bray Wyatt ceiling.
So attraction.
Yeah.
Attraction and above the belt in some ways.
Okay, I can deal with that. Well, watch him just be Rhino once he gets up there. That's all he's gonna be. That's all he's gonna be. He's gonna be fucking Rhino.
If he does that, I swear to God,
Except they're gonna call him the Wrecking Ball instead of the Human Destruction Machine.
Oh man, and then they're gonna get like fat jokes about him too.
Yeah, they're gonna do it.
We're already getting fat jokes about him. We're already getting fat jokes about Sami Zayn for some stupid ass reason.
What?
Here's a nice one for you. WWE Ernesto says, I kind of agree with Vince on his points that great wrestlers don't equate to great ratings.
I agree.
I kind of agree with that because great wrestlers need great stories to help make great ratings.
It's great having a Stone Cold Steve Austin, but if you didn't have Steve Austin versus Vince, you wouldn't have had the draw.
Right, yeah, I completely see that point, and that point's fine. I mean, just going by that, if you went great wrestling would equal great ratings, then Ring of Honor would be, having threes.
New Japan Pro Wrestling would be, New Japan Pro Wrestling would be the best company in the freaking world.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Well, now that you're here, Paul, I know it's a question that poor Trina has been waiting since Monday to hear.
Hi, Trina.
She wants to know our thoughts on the main event adjustments for Payback. Is it a good thing having Ambrose there? Is it a bad thing? What are your thoughts in particular? To me, this is kind of one of those deals where they've gone, okay, he's doing nothing, let's put him in the main event. He's became Mick Foley at WrestleMania 2000.
I agree and disagree with that. I think, depending on the outcome of the match, we can tell if it's going to be good for his career or detrimental to his career. If he's just there to take the pinfall, it clearly shows that Vince doesn't have much faith in the guy. If Randy Orton takes the pinfall and Dean Ambrose, I don't know, gets screwed out or something like that, then we know that there's a bit of hope going for Dean Ambrose, and it's going to lead to a more interesting story further down the line.
Well, as far as Ambrose goes, I mean, I have him penciled in as my Money in the Bank winner. Um, I've already said that I see him as being added to this match. That he's going to be the guy to eat the pinfall. Honestly, if I'm booking all this, I would have had him lose on Monday. I don't have him win. I don't have him added to this match, because I want to turn him heel.
Yep, I have him lose to Seth Rollins on Monday,
Yep.
come out and try to help Reigns, or go to, I say, quotation marks, help Reigns at Payback, and then turn heel.
I'm drawing it out a little bit longer than that.
You think
But
SummerSlam?
yeah, right around Money in the Bank, I would have him turn.
See, I disagree because I know exactly what you want him to turn because you're expecting him to win Money in the Bank. I'm expecting Sheamus to win Money in the Bank.
Ugh, it's terrible.
Because I want him to, because it's what Vince is going to want.
Ugh, Sheamus has no heat right now.
Sheamus has no heat because he just kissed Ziggler's ass.
Yeah, that really crippled him. But as far as Payback goes, the match is going to be fun. I will say that. I mean, that match is going to sell a ton of pay-per-views. Well, back in the day, it would have sold a ton of pay-per-views. Right now, they're giving it away for free, which is fine.
I'm not going to lie, by the way. I've just thought of this. The way I see it is it's the Shield triple threat match with Orton there to take the pin.
It very well could be. I'm glad that Orton is in that match, so this way it isn't. They're not just giving away, the Shield triple threat that everybody wants on a C-level pay-per-view.
That will be going to SummerSlam. That will.
I got that. I see. To me, that's WrestleMania. You build that up to WrestleMania, where you finally have that. But again, that goes into my long convoluted booking, which is awesome.
You see,
And,
I'd
I should be hired for.
I'd have it built to SummerSlam, but I wouldn't have I'd have it carry over to Mania because the match doesn't finish unless Lesnar interferes and takes out Rollins, leading to their match at Night of Champions.
Well, SummerSlam, I think we could pretty much count on Brock Lesnar getting his rematch.
SummerSlam, I think we can count on him wrecking. Actually, he did count. He did wrestle 4 matches instead of 3, so I suppose we won't be seeing him at SummerSlam, maybe. Or rather, we'll be seeing him only in his rematch and nothing else. Ugh.
But also, though, this is the slow and steady, real push now for Roman Reigns has begun. So you can almost guarantee he's not eating the pin in this. I'd like to see him get a little step back from the title scene, though. I don't want him involved in every title match that's going to be multiple guys because they're tipping their hand with it already. I just want when he wins the belt, I just want it to be that special moment. That's what I want.
Random idea, and I'm just throwing it out there. Reigns versus Zayn, and you then have Reigns work the live events over the summer with Chris Jericho.
What about Jericho? Oh, yeah, I heard Jericho's coming back to do some stuff. Huh?
Jericho's only doing the live events. He won't be on TV. But I think over the summer it would be beneficial for Reigns if he's working with Reigns so that we can get some in-ring experience, a little bit more, technical understanding of the business and of wrestling.
I'm not worried about Roman Reigns one bit.
I'm not so much worried about him, but I think it'd be good if he improved.
Okay, guys. Just before we get too deep into things, I just wondered if it's possible. I know we don't know all the matches, but if it's possible to get some of your predictions for Payback. Now, obviously, I'm asking to them a week early because we have a special guest next week, and I would just like to get that kind of out of the way just now so we can all have our say. Come back to. I'm going to announce it later. It's all going to be good.
Announce it now. I've got to.
No, you got to wait.
Soon.
You're like a ruined child.
I have to go soon. Announce it now.
Okay, just for Chris.
Yeah.
Guys, ladies and gentlemen, next week, on the final episode of this season of Lowdown, we have our special guest and writer of the brand new book that's coming out for you all to enjoy, Jay On you go, Chris.
I say Mr. Always has a job until recently.
Mr. JTG.
Yay!
You guys need to make sure and tune in. We want to hear all your questions for him. We're going to talk about his book. I want you guys to know what's going on with that so that he can give you the best quality product. The same that we do. The same every single week. So long as we get your feedback and your questions, we can improve on that. So spread the word. Next Wednesday at the same time every week, 6 p.m. EST, JTG is going to be on Lowdown.
If that's not enough to make you watch, I'll have a new headset and a new microphone.
So even Chris will be less annoying.
I gotta say, I'm halfway through his book right now, and it's a lot of fun. It's only 99 cents right now, so go ahead and go pick it up. It's a good read. It gives you a real inside look to what goes on but behind the cameras. I've always said that pro wrestling is the equivalent of high school. And read the book, and you'll see exactly what I mean. That Paul is yet again right. It's a good read. I'll just tell you that much. It's a lot of fun. It's a quick read. It's good. Go pick it up. 99 cents right now.
Pick it up. 99 cents. Wow. So
That is a bargain.
for a tenth of what you'll pay for the WWE Network, you can hear about the inside of the WWE Network with JTG.
Hey, you get some good dirt. It's good.
Money, money. Yeah, yeah. But seriously, go download the book.
Ah,
Chris, before you disappear, can I maybe get your pop and heat from you, my friend?
my pop is obviously Sami Zayn's debut. Anyone who knows me knows that it's Sami Zayn's debut. Anybody who's ever spoken to me about wrestling or NXT knows that it's Sami Zayn's debut.
Easiest
My
pop.
heat of the week.
Easiest pop of the week ever. There it was.
That is actually my easiest pop of the year. And that's not even just because of the fact that it's Sami Zayn, it's the fact that it was the audience as well. They got me into that. The heat of the week. I'm actually not entirely sure. I'm probably going to have to go with the irrelevant R-Truth versus Stardust. Well, I was kind of hoping for more from Stardust. Or potentially, obviously, the injury to Sami Zayn, which is real and is a hyperextension of the muscle, probably, or a rotator cuff, I'm calling it now.
You're calling an injury like it's a booking.
I'm calling it now.
He's got money on.
I know the results of that scan before Sami Zayn's seen it. I know the results of that scan before the doctors have seen it.
Smell the break in that muscle.
It's not
He
a break.
stopped you
It's a,
that close. He can smell the break.
it's a hyperextension.
Proteins, my friend. That's all he needs, and I'm sure Chris has plenty for you.
Oh, I get it. That's like that's a cum joke. I got it.
That's exactly it. Chris, we bid you good day, and thank you for your pop and heat.
Thanks,
we'll
sir.
see you again soon, and we will see you definitely next week for JTG.
And probably tomorrow for Breakdown or Showdown, whichever one it is.
And everyone wish Chris a good luck with his exam, because he gets to talk about the Terminator and AI. That's cool as shit.
Yay! Good luck, sir.
Thank you. I shall see you next week.
See you next week, Chris.
Yeah.
So I guess that leaves me and Paul just to let you all know that you can head over to levelsofwrestling.podbean.com, check out all the podcasts like we said earlier, even let each person and each podcast know your thoughts. And if you guys can think of any lucha-based podcasts or even Impact Wrestling-based podcasts, let us know. We'd definitely love to get in touch with them and see what we can do for them with promotion.
Or a Global Force Wrestling one.
Which is exactly what I was coming to. That was very well done, Paul.
Oh, look at that. Fucking mind reader.
So what's your thoughts on the reveal, the big reveal of Global Force Wrestling's roster? God help us all if this is the main event.
That whole reveal that tells you everything you need to know about this little rinky-dink nothing. Yeah,
These
it was
guys is a little train who couldn't.
Oh, it's so bad. I mean, I don't even know what the purpose of this was. It's not like they're getting these guys to exclusive deals, so who cares? I mean, all you had to do was just go, okay, this is when we're going to be doing our shows. This is what the first show is going to be. I mean, they just made themselves look like a D-grade product. Bad.
That's not even D-grade. I mean, I love this idea that they've got good wrestlers on there. I really, really do. But what's special about your show compared to every other indie show that's going to be out there?
They're
Give
going
us
to be
something that's going to make me grab it by the balls and not let go, because I want to be entertained. And Jeff Jarrett should be good at this. He's done a company once already.
He's too worried about Karen Jarrett right now. He's more worried about Karen Jarrett than he is Jeff Jarrett. That's just my opinion. Because she's put more out front there than anything else. What is this supposed to be? They're going to be doing a bunch of baseball stadium tours this summer.
I believe so. That's the first state of play, and then after that, they're going to try to get TV deals.
Hey, yeah, good luck. You're gonna go get a TV deal. Okay, good luck, Jeff. I mean, I hope that it works out for you, but you're gonna need to do a fuck of a lot better than the Killer Elite Squad and Justin Gabriel and Chris Masters.
I'm okay with these guys being there, but I think you're going to try and make them bigger than they are, which is a really sad thing.
Yeah,
all it's going to do is boost the stars and not the company.
The average WWE fan would look up and down that roster and go, "What the fuck am I watching this?"
Yeah, why am I watching CM Punk's Bodyguard as a main event star?
Yeah, I don't know these guys. Who are these guys? Bullet Club, who are these guys? They got cool shirts, but who the fuck are they? Killer Elite Squad.
They're those guys that work with those guys who super kick too much.
Yeah, I mean, it just so botched. I mean, they couldn't even have they didn't have a live stream to it. They didn't even have their own Twitter feed going through it and going, okay, this is who's being announced and things like that. It was so botched. I mean, rinky dink nothing. Tell you what, I'll be interested when they're either on iPay-per-view or they got a TV deal. At least iPay-per-view. Then we'll talk.
Well, I've got something, Paul, that hopefully will interest you and a lot of our fans. And it's something that shook the Twitterverse for at least a week now. There's been a silence, a deadly, deadly silence.
Oh, it's been a morning.
It's a morning. But as the immortal Peter Pan once said, never say goodbye, because saying goodbye means going away, and going away means forgetting. Wasim, we miss you forever and always. Now fuck off and die.
No,
honestly, I'm so glad he's gone. Twitter got quiet. It's amazing.
His name was even trending.
He trended.
How awesome was that?
How awesome was that? Down account trended.
That's awesome. Yeah, we hardly knew ye.
And it's a shame. We wanted to know you, but you didn't come on the show.
We gave you your chance there, Mr. YouTube shooter and king of Twitter. We gave you your shot. Now look what happened.
I'll give you free chapstick if you come on the show.
We will. We'll give you chapstick. But now you get nothing. You lose. Good day, sir.
Thank you, Willy Wonka.
Yes.
It's a shame because obviously the guy was having a good time, and then, well, he fucked up. And everyone reported him. I want to know what he got kicked out for.
Being a cunt. There we go. Being an annoying cunt.
He is now more synonymous with the word Twitter than we are, which is really sad.
Yeah, but who's still here and who isn't? That's all
I think that's a good thing. But at the same time, it's like this guy is now going to be famous for being the guy that got kicked from Twitter, as well as being the guy who was the most annoying idiot on Twitter.
Oh, he was the worst. The absolute worst.
He was, but do you know what's worse? His legend lives on. You too can check him out in the Wasim Hall of Fame page.
That's right. Run by three very handsome fellows.
Three? I heard it was one. I heard he was running his own page.
No, this is a tribute page. Tribute. Yes, to the Hall of Famer himself. Poor Wasim. Honestly, I'm surprised that it took this long for it to happen. For everyone to just finally go, you know what? Fuck this guy. Kick him the fuck out.
I feel really bad because obviously there was a stigma for a while that we had this huge issue with Wasim. And I have no issue with Wasim. He's probably a great guy.
No, he's
I
not.
just have the issue with his lying.
No, he's not a great guy. I've
He
seen
might
the
be, we'll never know.
I've seen the wallpaper in his parents' house. He's not a good guy.
That's very true. Maybe his parents aren't great guys. We'll never know.
That's how I can tell. I can tell by your fucking wallpaper.
So we'll see. We hardly knew you, like Paul said, but unfortunately, you're gone, dusted, left in the corner, and we'll be leaving you in the smoke now. So goodbye. Paul, how are you feeling about the
Good,
connections
thank you.
between? Oh, well, you're welcome. The connections between Harper and Rowan possibly reuniting, and that was asked by it's JB1989.
Wow, that's a lot of numbers there. Yeah, I'm puzzled by that. I read the SmackDown spoilers, and I saw that, and my ears perked up. Like, this SmackDown show doesn't look half bad, so I may actually like DVR it and watch it. Yeah, I don't know. Are they getting back together?
It's weird, and if they do they have a figurehead?
Zeb Coulter.
Oh,
Everything's
God.
coming into. Everything is coming up, Paul. They're gonna put them together with Zeb. They're gonna be just face hillbillies, and it's gonna work.
I don't know if they're going to be faces. I think they're going to have to be heels.
Yeah, you kind of have to with guys that big. It's nice to see that they haven't given up on Eric Rowan. That they've gone. You know what? 6'10" guys don't grow on trees. So we gotta turn this guy around because he can work. I mean, he really. When the Wyatt family came up, I mean, he was really looked at as, who the fuck is this guy? This guy's the weak link, and he really held his own there.
I would love for this to be a case of they say to Luke Harper, look, Eric's going to help you out again. We're going to put you back together. We're going to make you relevant. We've got nothing else for you to do. But I really want Luke Harper to treat Eric Rowan like a little brother.
Yeah, that's fine. You bully him? Sure.
Yeah, bully him, make it seem like he can't live without him almost. Like Rowan can't be without Harper, and that's why he's done this.
Right, yeah, but make do like some promos where he's talking about him having to crawl back to him and stuff like that. Because Luke Harper is super underrated on the mic.
Oh, he completely is. Completely is. I would love to think they're going to do something big with it. I really do, but then I look at the tag division and kind of go, well, who are they going to put them against?
You know what? I don't even need it to be anything big, just something. I don't need everybody to be a main eventer. I just need something for everybody. And it seems like that's kind of what they're doing, and that's so smart, and it just makes me so happy.
I'm okay with everyone having something to do on the provision that they give everything an ending at times.
Right.
Nothing worse than being given something and then all of a sudden it disappears.
Yeah, that it just gets lopped off. Yeah, nothing worse than something getting lopped off. But yeah, I mean, if they decide to put them in the tag ranks, cool. If not, that's fine too. You know, I just want to see Luke Harper be on TV, get to kick people in the fucking face, and I'm glad that they haven't given up on Eric Rowan.
Give Eric Rowan a mustache, just the mustache,
Ooh.
and then reveal Zeb.
Ooh, no! I bet
exactly.
you
it's so ugly you don't want to like it.
No, because I bet you he has like a bad chin. You know, he probably doesn't even have like a chin. Like he just.
Oh no, I think he's got like Gaston chin from like the Disney films. He's just got the upturn.
No, he's like a Simpsons character. He's like Mo from the Simpsons, where you know he's lip into neck. So that's why he has to have the beard. Or maybe I'm overthinking it. Who knows? I've been known to do that.
This really needs to be a breakdown topic. Like, it really needs to be like the many faces of Eric Rowan.
What does Eric Rowan look like underneath that beard? I'm sure that we could Google it, but whatever. I don't want to know now.
Speaking of Eric Rowan and many faces, I know I've mentioned it already. Dean Ambrose, though, this week, it sat with me more. I've called him Tommy Dreamer. I think he's Mick Foley.
Yeah.
He's had the hardcore past. He's the guy that's never going to have a big feud. He'll get one title win, like a big title win, and it'll be snatched away from him so quick.
Yeah, and you know what? That's not a bad career path to have.
No, of course not. I mean, if he gets paid well for it and he lives long, why not?
Yeah, he's going to be one of those guys that is always going to kind of be buzzing around the world title picture, or whatever. I mean, I could really see. No, you know what? I don't want to see him with a U.S. title or IC title run because we've already been there, and
Yeah,
we saw.
no more titles.
Yeah, he is easily the worst U.S. champion in the history of the belt. So sorry, folks. Sorry, everybody that lives for the Shield and that has Shield posters and tattoos and altars to those three. But he was the worst U.S. champion in the history of the United States, the title or the continent. Yeah, I mean, he's gonna win a world title here eventually. And if it comes through Money in the Bank, that's awesome. You know, but yeah, you just gotta kind of keep expectations tempered with him. You know, because I don't know how they feel about him in the back. I mean, is he a Vince guy or what? Or don't we know?
I don't know. I think he's a Triple H guy, but at the same time, it's like he can't do anything big. He can't do anything bad. He's not big enough to be a monster. He's not small enough to be an underdog. What do you do with him?
Right. Yeah, he's in a sticky spot, but no matter what they do, he's gonna be able to get it over because he's smart. He has a great mind for the business, and he just has charisma that leaps off the TV. Like if that guy never even cut a single promo, you would just look at that guy and go, you know what? That motherfucker's cool. You know, that's a cool guy. That's someone that I could hang out with. You know, that guy has it. But
Yeah.
but that doesn't translate to world titles and being the face of the company. So,
It's definitely something that happens more often now. Guys tend to come up and they've got the it, but they don't have the other things to go with them.
right. Yeah, his character might be his hindrance. Because you know, to me, it doesn't always play off well as a face. And Lunatic Fringe has got to be one of the dumbest fucking nicknames I've ever heard.
I think the issue is the word lunatic. I mean, it's got negative connotations.
Right. You
I mean,
turn him heel, I could see him being a pretty decent heel. Upper level heel. Bray Wyatt type heel.
Call him the Psycho Cowboy. Turn him heel.
That's an even worse nickname.
That they're going to do it is WWE. They can't handle image changes anymore. Chris
Are they
Jericho
gonna
was probably the last successful one.
are they gonna put cowboy hats on him and stuff?
Oh, of course not. But he'll steal JBLs occasionally.
Oh well, then I'm okay with it.
Oh yeah.
I can deal with that.
Here's a good one for you. Iowa Ambrose Girl says, Paul, you've just angered a bunch of Shield fangirls.
I know.
Now this leads me on to possibly
I'm sorry.
one of the things we should have discussed on a breakdown show. Who do you feel has the worst fan group? Like, you've just said there's obviously the Shield fangirls who live just for the Shield. I kind of see AJ Lee groups and Paige groups.
Yeah, they're the worst.
Yeah, but then I saw a really weird one, which was Naked Cody Rhodes.
What?
Yeah, it's just a group of people that have followed a page, and all they post are edited photos of Cody Rhodes onto naked bodies.
That's probably the best fan group then.
That's creepy as hell.
It doesn't matter. I'm putting them at the top. They're my. I'm gonna go join that group. I think. Yeah, I'm sorry. I know that I'm gonna offend people that live for the Shield, and that's cool. I can't hate on those folks because they are insanely loyal and knowledgeable of the product. And that's what makes them very cool. See, so there we go. I just made up for that. It's the AJ and Paige and Bella Twins fans that are just completely belligerent and stupid. Those are the worst because they don't even talk about they're not even knowledgeable of the product that they're talking about. And they're just obsessive and fucking nuts. So yeah, we don't like those ones. Well, I don't like those ones. I can't speak on behalf of everyone else.
No, I agree. There's definitely certain fan groups that they support a wrestler, but they don't support wrestling.
Right. And those folks that love the Shield, they love the product and they support those guys and they're awesome. So
Do they though? I mean, I find a lot of them. It's like, oh my god, Roman Reigns is hot.
Oh,
Like-
you know what? I'm used to that at this point. It doesn't bother me. That's white noise to me now. Because they do that all day, but then you can go around and have a really intelligent conversation with them because they're knowledgeable about the product. So whatever
Yeah, I
gets
mean-
you, whatever gets you into watching and finding out more about the product and watching and listening to us.
Maybe we should go nude. Would that help?
Absolutely, it would. I'm going to start photoshopping my head onto naked Cody Rhodes bodies.
I think I'm gonna start just doing the podcast naked. No one will ever know, but I'll know.
Oh,
And
don't
I
worry.
think it's gonna add me 100 times more charisma, and it'll all be good because I'll be nude.
Yeah, people can sense it through your voice, like what you're wearing. So, like people will know, holy shit, that motherfucker naked.
Episode 1, Season 3 of Lowdown, the nude series.
Hold on, episode what? Season 3? When does that start?
I'm definitely setting after Payback. I haven't set an exact date yet because I would love to obviously get guys in, set up some nice timetables. We've got some good things coming through the summer. Another special announcement. I wanted to leave it to the end, but since we've brought it up,
Season 3.
in July, we're going to have a nice interview with Bram from TNA. We're going to discuss everything he's done from TNA, stuff recently with ICW in Glasgow as well. Basically, this next month for all of us at Levels of Wrestling is going to be kind of busy, but we obviously are going to keep giving you content and we're going to keep bringing it back. But season 3, we're going to take at least a month off and then we're going to recap and bring things back. We'll have a color change as we always do for each season, and we're going to give you guys more fresh product, more fresh talent, and definitely bringing you more articles and blogs to catch up on as well.
We're taking time off. Wow.
We always take time off. Do you not remember? Season 1, season 2, we had a month off.
Yeah, but that was just because everyone kind of fell by the wayside. We're just gathering momentum, sir.
Oh, no, but you see, the Levels of Wrestling doesn't stop. Lowdown continues
Okay.
in a different format.
Okay. So
So
we're
there'll
just
still
gonna.
be a show every single week. It just
Okay.
won't be labeled as Lowdown.
So we're gonna find another name that with down at the end of it.
Going down.
Down. Yes, I love it. It's gonna be like our adults only show where I get to curse and say bad words
Is that not what breakdown is?
because that's every show.
Oh God, maybe not going down.
No, it's
Um,
perfect. Going down.
Chris got down.
No, I like going down. That's it.
Okay.
We're going to be dispensing relationship advice and all kinds of other stuff along with wrestling.
Ooh, advice along with wrestling.
Yes, we're all things to all people. It's going to be fantastic. Going down.
Oh God, see if you can record that. That would just be perfect. We'll just play that on a loop 1,000 times an episode.
And it's just going to be in the background of her talking. Just be yelling, going down.
So Mr. Candlelight has asked, "Do we
Mr.
miss
Candlelight,
Mr.
speaking of going down.
Candlelight.
Speaking of going down, Mr. Candlelight, he knows a thing or two about that. I guarantee it with that name.
No, the gentle lovers of wrestling."
Yeah, absolutely.
He
Yes,
asked,
Mr. Candlelight.
"Do we miss Wasim?"
Yes, there is a hole in my heart as deep as a well. That's a Simpsons reference.
As the Joker is to Batman, I miss Wasim. My purpose in life has disappeared. I do not know what to do with my life, so much so that I've began speaking like William Shatner.
Yes, we can do this forever. So that's all I got to say about Wasim. Someone else will take his place. He's not the Twitter hero that we deserve. He's the one that we needed. So there.
Oh, I'm going to hit my face off my keyboard in a minute. Thanks, Paul. Iowa Ambrose girl asks, "What's your thoughts on Lana doing the Fandango on Raw?"
It was cute. It's
It was cute. She was cute. I was cute. Everything was cute. I like it.
yeah. I just can't wait to see Santino teaching her English. That's going to be fun.
I cannot wait until she cuts an American style promo. It's going to be funny as hell.
Oh yeah, she's going to drop that accent quicker than Kofi did.
I'm not sure if it will be as quick because I mean Kofi balls up, but
Oh, it's going to be quick. But
I
where
think
does
Rusev-
she?
Oh, I booked it. Rusev's gonna hit Lana. John Cena's gonna quit. Cena goes to check on Lana. Lana has amnesia, and Cena reprograms her to be the American Dream.
So she's gonna have a lisp.
She's gonna have a mild lisp,
I like it.
if you will.
If you will.
Oh, she's gonna be fantastic.
I like it. If we're gonna go with that amnesia angle, I'm always for that. I want her to be lost in Cleveland like Cactus Jack was in WCW.
Oh, that'd be amazing. How did she become suddenly homeless as well?
That's what I want to happen. This needs to happen.
So,
But where does she really go though? I mean, after this, I mean, she's obviously not going to become an in-ring competitor.
I think she does,
Oh,
but I think it takes time. I think within 1 year, and you can count me out on this one. In fact, by the end of season 3 of Lowdown,
which will be a month and a half, right?
yeah, about that.
Okay.
Lana becomes the top face diva, and Eva Marie becomes the top heel diva. And you can record me on that one.
Wow. Yeah, that's a bold statement, my friend.
I think it happens just.
But you know what, though? I think you could argue the fact that right now Lana is the #1 face diva already.
Yeah, but don't go ruin my speculation.
She's over. That's
Oh,
it.
she is so over. The crowd chants for her more than they do Rusev.
She is fucking over. And that's what's always gotten Rusev over, though. I mean, at the beginning, you know, it was her that got him over. Then his in-ring got himself over. And now we're devolving back in this other part where we're going to have like a Mark Marrow type of relationship. But after they break up, do we see her just kind of meandering around, just going with who's ever in a feud with Rusev?
No, I think she goes off and does her own thing. I think that there needs to be a heel diva that gets in her face. She needs to become.
There's plenty of them out there right now, so.
Yeah, she needs to become the female Rocky. She needs to get put down and put down and put down until eventually she stands up for herself and fights back. I mean, that the fans will get behind her. Vince wants her to be this blonde dream character.
He wants her to be the
something he's not had since the days of like Tori and Sable almost.
Well, I mean, you know, it's not unheard of to go from manager that's never wrestled to Hall of Famer. Look at Trish Stratus. I mean, you know, you look at her early days, she couldn't even do a collar and elbow. And you know, you look back at her now and you just remember all the good stuff. Do we see that as being her path?
I definitely see her having some kind of in-ring career. I just don't know when she starts it.
Yeah, well, I hope so. If not, she'll look good doing whatever she's doing. So,
Yeah, she always looks good. I mean, I posted my Women Crush Wednesday today. I mean, I think folk definitely retweeted that. And if you didn't, go check my photos. You're definitely missing out. She did naughty things before she was in wrestling. Just
Yes.
saying.
yes, she naked. Google.
Yeah, Google safe search, not at work.
Yeah.
Paul, you never said your pop and heat this week. What was yours?
Oh, Pop and Heat. Pop has to go to Sami Zayn. That debut was fantastic. It really couldn't have been done any better. So congratulations to him. Heat of the week, I don't even have one. Global Force Wrestling. There's my heat of the week. Because I don't have one for Raw. Because Raw fucking kicked ass this week. So yeah,
My
Global
heat of the
Force.
week.
You.
My heat of the week goes to Impact Wrestling.
Who watches that?
Now, you see, here's the issue. The company that everyone's shitting on is getting more attention than the company that's actually currently kind of relevant. That's not a good thing.
Who
Like,
watches?
I'm looking at Twitter trends. I'm not seeing anything about, Impact, but there's a WWE, there's Global Force Wrestling, Vince Russo, all these things are there, just no Impact Wrestling. So Impact, what are you doing to get yourself noticed? How can you expect people to watch your show if they can't find anything about you? You can't just put on the show once a week and expect people to tune in every single week now. That's not how the average fan works with.
Yeah, I haven't watched since they left Spike. And I don't foresee myself ever going back and watching them. And I used to watch them when they did the weekly pay-per-views. So, I mean, I was there for a long time. Fuck you, I'm done. That's it.
Listeners, let us know. Do you watch Impact Wrestling? Is it something we should tune into more often?
No.
Maybe we're missing out on something.
No. Who's champion over there? Is it still Kurt Angle?
Yeah. Huh?
Okay. Yeah, I'm good.
Yeah.
I don't need to see that.
He should have gone back to WWE. I know it wasn't on his terms, but still.
No, you know what he needs to do? He needs to go get himself cleaned up, get off all the junk, and then retire. That's it.
Sitting on Dixie's junk is so much more fun.
Ew.
Yeah, but there we
Really?
go. Now that's a double entendre. We'll avoid drug relates on this show.
Ew.
I think there's quite a few people have seen my my Lana Eva Marie status, and people are asking, isn't Eva Marie already the top heel?
For the most part, yeah. But there is a ton of heel divas right now. There is a dearth of them. So much so that the Bellas are back to being faces somehow, some way. I don't know how that happened.
How and when did that happen?
No fucking clue. Like 1 week, they're just complete pains in the asses and heels. And now, oh, hey, we're cheering for them again. I guess. What happened?
Yeah, it just seems a bit out of line and like, oh, it's a sudden face turn. Oh, another heel. Oh, another heel. Oh, there's a heel. So now it's the Bellas versus the division.
But out of this, though, we did get what's her face? Sim Snuka. Jimmy Snuka's son.
I'm okay
Jimmy
with her.
Snuka's son is back. So
I think she's got opportunities to be a really good diva so long as they use her correctly.
yeah, I mean, I thought that he deserved a longer run there in Legacy. So
Mm-hmm.
you know, he's a second generation star. But yeah, I mean, this is exactly what that division needs, though. They need a bully, and Sim Snuka can completely fill that role. So
Yeah, she would be good at that. I mean,
yeah, just no Superfly splashes, no more of those, because you will have no more knees. I mean, that thing just lands knee first every time, and it's
no
not
knees
good.
and busted tits. That's how it goes.
Yeah, it's not good.
Yeah,
It'd
it's
be
definitely
great.
not a good look if you want your divas to have that calendar at the end of the year, Vince. Just saying.
I mean, you know, he's lucky that he's still walking after Taker dove on him there at WrestleMania 28 or whichever one it was.
Mm-hmm. Oh, here's your thought. Vince McMahon's reportedly going blind. What's your thoughts on it?
It sounds like horseshit to me.
Oh, it's complete horseshit. It's got to be.
Yeah.
And if Vince was going blind, he would hide it better than that. This is
Yeah,
a
I
man
mean, you
who's
know,
all about pride. He's not going to come out on TV and be like, "Oh my God, I can't see. Look at me, I'm Daredevil." Oh,
I mean, you know, well, shit, Daredevil, he can see better than I can, you know. But you know, what is the basis for this though? Because he came out following a spotlight. Is that what they said?
mm-hmm.
That was one of the things. Then I saw like a little gif of him, you know, putting his hands out to greet Brock Lesnar. You know, that didn't look like he was blind. It looked like a dude, you know, fucking around with another dude. Yeah, Vince isn't going blind. I mean, he may be going senile, but he's not going blind.
I'll definitely go see now. He's not blind. If anything, this is probably the clearest he's seen in years because he's not involved with on-screen product anymore.
Yeah,
You know,
and,
he's
you know,
taking time away from the lights and the stardom.
and we're better for it. I mean, yeah, wow. Like, yeah, we haven't had Stephanie since, you know, basically WrestleMania. I mean, to me, Les McMahon's equals better product.
As far as I'm aware, Triple H and Stephanie haven't been on the TV as a couple since WrestleMania.
Right.
I know Triple H has been seen at least once, but Steph's been away doing stuff with Connor's Cure and other stuff.
Yeah, I know that she was like overseas and stuff like that, and it's fine. You know what? This goes to show right now that the authority figure crutch, it's not needed nowadays. It's really not, and I would applaud them even more if they just took it away. But you know what? That authority figure thing, that's something that Vince has always held on to, even back to the days of Jack Tunney. So it's not going to go away, but you know, you scale it back like they have, and I'm all for it.
I'll tell you who's been a great authority figure, and we've not mentioned him in this show, and we definitely didn't mention him with the idea of the Fatal 4-Way, is Kane. Kane's been a really good on-screen GM almost.
He's been okay. He's playing both sides of the fence, which I'm always a fan of. I mean, you know, the authority figure, that thing's played out, but the heel authority figure, super duper played out. You know, and he's even screwing over, you know, Seth Rollins at points. So I mean, it's fair, and I like it.
Do you know what was weird is obviously he screwed Seth Rollins over by putting Ambrose in the match. But then at the end of the night, he helps Rollins out.
Right.
What's going on with that? Is that going to happen in Payback's main event?
Yeah, I mean, somehow, some way, Seth Rollins, you know, keeps hold of that title.
It's no DQ, so I mean, even if Kane helps, it won't matter.
Yep. Right. You know, either way, you know, Seth Rollins walking out with that belt, and I gotta think that Kane will have something to do with it. Hopefully they just don't rehash the same ending as we got at Extreme Rules, you know, that type of thing where he just lays everybody out and gives them the win. Because then we already know what that's setting up. That's going to set up Kane versus Rollins, and
I'm okay with that. He needs the mask though.
I just don't want to see the match.
I'm okay with the match. Just
I can't deal with
stipulation.
I can't deal with Kane matches anymore. I just really can't. I mean, he's too slow and soft, and I just can't.
And that's exactly why it works. Wait till Hell in the Cell. Have it done then. I know it's a long way down the line. Have it done then. Seth versus Kane. If Kane loses, he retires. Seth gets yet more heat. Kane gets to go home, do his own thing, and he leaves in the same match he debuted in.
No, but that drags that out to what, December, right? Isn't that when Hell in a Cell is? Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. I can deal with that. I mean, you know, this is the summer doldrums right now, and they don't feel like doldrums to me. I mean, you know, the product seems pretty fun right now. I'm not the biggest fan of having a pay-per-view 3 weeks after the last one, but you know, that's scheduling things, and you know.
Yeah, myself and Chris mentioned that at the beginning of the show, and we were saying it's nice that they've they've made this seem important almost. In 3 weeks of a build, or even in 2 weeks of a build, they've made this pay-per-view kind of seem semi-important for a B show.
It's not even a B show. This is C show. You know, they're giving it 3 weeks build. You know, that shows you how far down the totem pole this is.
And how long is it after this until the next one? Is it just a month?
Yeah, hopefully they're going to give it like 5 weeks just to make up for it.
It could be a 5-week month.
And that would be fine, because what's next?
Money in the Bank.
Okay, perfect. I mean, to me,
I'm fairly sure it's Money in the Bank.
Yeah, to me, Money in the Bank is your number 5 show of the year. I mean, that one's right below your big 4, because you know that you're usually going to have, you're going to have the Insane Ladder match, and then you're usually going to get a pretty kick-ass main event on top of that. So I always look forward to Money in the Bank. It's one of my favorite pay-per-views of the year.
Yep, Payback, then Money in the Bank, and then Battleground.
Nice. So yeah, I could. I'm looking forward to that. You give it a nice build. That's plenty of time for Dean Ambrose to do his thing. You know, go on a nice little losing streak, freak out, and then get the briefcase and become a bad guy. I'm okay with that.
Plenty of time. I know we've said it, and I know that it's going to become a thing. I think Dean Ambrose has to turn. There has to be a point where he does this.
Yes.
You can't keep him face forever. It's not working. Not in the way they expected it to, anyway. And he's becoming popular. And the best time to turn someone, like I've said before, is at the pinnacle of their pops.
Right. Because, Rusev is going to be losing his spot. He's no longer that main event guy. And then you just really have Seth Rollins up there as that upper echelon heel. And I think Dean can really slide into that spot very comfortably. You know, I could see feuds against Dolph Ziggler and John Cena and Roman Reigns. I mean, that's money right there. That's selling shows.
As we come into the last 10 minutes, then, seeing as we've had so many requests since the last show, let me just do a quick hot or not segment with you, Paul. Rusev, hot or not?
Not, unfortunately.
Dwindling. That's the way I'm looking at it. He is now the embers of what was a bright fire.
Yeah, it almost seems like they're setting him up for a losing streak, and I hate those. I really hate those because then that almost sets you up for a face turn.
Yeah, that is a bad thing.
He turns face, he becomes comedy character. And I hate that idea.
If he becomes comedy character, you can bet he's ended up with Slater. He's going to be Slater's muscle. Mm-hmm. Oh, God. Lucha Dragons, hot or not? Not TV, but they're still a tag team that are doing well.
They're fine. They're fine right now. Callisto has a super bright future. They're gonna get their tag team title run. No point in rushing them. So you know they're a thumbs in the middle. They're in the middle right now, and that's a good spot for them.
John Cena's U.S. Open Challenge.
Oh, that's super hot.
Who challenges next week?
I don't know.
That's what I thought.
I challenge next week.
I think Slater has to and get attacked again, so Rusev can be seen.
I could see. I don't know. I'm looking more down the road of who he's involved with after Rusev's done, and I'm looking at either Sheamus or Bad News Barrett.
King Barrett, hot or not?
I guess hot. I guess.
Tough, I mean, they've made him King of the Ring, and what's he done? He's cut a promo.
Yeah.
Had a match with Neville, but it's not like we've never seen it before.
Right. So I don't know. I mean, they just never seem to know what to do with this guy. This guy should have already been world champion by now.
What they need to do is cut him loose and let him be an underwear model. I'm so sick of his briefs in the ring. I made a point twice this week. He looks like he's just wearing a pair of Calvin Kleins to the ring.
Well,
royal gold underwear.
Oh, because they stripped away his gimmick and told him to do sit-ups. That was it. That's your gimmick. You know, you're the guy with the abs now. That's your gimmick. You don't say you got bad news. You're just going to tell people to train, say their prayers, and do sit-ups. That's it. That's your gimmick, and you're going to do it with an accent. Yeah.
Last two. Neville, hot or not?
He's fine. He's fine. I like them kind of giving him a nice little friendship there with Dolph Ziggler. I don't want to see them become like a full-time tag team, but a loose partnership I think is great.
I would agree. I think it's a nice little segment that, you know, they can chat, they can talk. Eventually you might have Dolph Ziggler superkick Neville, and Ziggler might turn heel eventually.
See, I don't even need that. I just like the fact of having guys go, hey, you know what, we're friends. That's it. You know, we don't always have to team up. We're not going to be a full-time tag team. But, you know, we're buddies. We're friendly. I know that you always got my back and I got yours. That's it. I always like that.
Like Sting and RoboCop.
There, exactly.
And, of course, having JTG on Lowdown next week, hot or not?
Oh, that's super hot.
That's super hot. And his book is ablaze. Download it for 99p right now.
Absolutely. And speaking of hot, he talks all about heat. Talks about getting heat. I mean, massive amounts of it. This guy has some stories. Definitely read the book, folks. It's a lot of fun. It gives you such an insight into what really goes on. Yeah, I know that WWE wants you to get those warm, fuzzy feelings by having the Roman Reigns special and then the one that was on ESPN last night. This guy is giving you what really happens. So, you know, It's good. It really is. It's worth your dollar.
Like
Truly
Crown
is.
Pen
And,
said, it's a steal. Do it.
and speaking of JTG, though, we're going to be talking to him tomorrow night on Rambling About Wrestling.
Oh, exactly.
He's also going to be there too. We're just running through the levels of wrestling car wash right now, pimping his book.
We pimp his book harder than the Godfather pimp toes nationwide.
That's right. It ain't easy.
Pimpin' ain't easy, man.
Right, but that book really sells itself, though. Can't stress it enough, though, guys. Go read it. Even if we didn't have him on the show, I would still say read it. It's $1, and it just gives you such an insight into this business that we all like. And for all of you that never believe me about me calling it high school, this is coming from the man's mouth.
And there we have it, guys. So tomorrow night, be sure to tune in to Breakdown and hear our comic book special. I know myself and Paul, we started talking about it last week for you guys. We're definitely going to go a lot more in depth tomorrow, and we're going to tell you who the Wrestling Avengers would be, who the Wrestling Justice League would be, and of course, who your supervillains have got to be as well. Tune in for that, and make sure as well that you head over to levelsofwrestling.podbean.com, give all the podcasts a listen, and go and make sure that you follow Minds of Carnage, Ringside Ramblers, Just Saying, and of course, the newly joined Wrestle Reaction. Hi, Frank and Joe. How you doing? Now, guys, like I said, we're coming up to this big special episode next week. Send us in all your questions for JTG, and we'll be sure to send them to him. Join us tomorrow night, same time as always, 6 p.m. And of course, stay on the level.